guys, today we're going to be doing some distributor spark plug wires and spark plugs on a 1995. This is a Honda ACTY Street Raccoon van, but it's the same as the ACTY trucks. So we've got some brand new NGK spark plug wires, part number there. We've got some brand new spark plugs, part number there. We've got the two O-rings for the distributor collar where it connects into the engine. I have a slight oil leak there. And then we have the brand new rotor. You can see part number. We got the brand new cap seal and the brand new cap for the distributor. So basically going to start by going up underneath and cleaning because I have some oil up under there. For those that don't know, this is your distributor here. Your ignition control module's on the side. Spark plug wires come in here. And there is a vacuum line that comes in as well. I'm going to, after cleaning it, I'm going to take a small punch and mark the point where the engine block meets the distributor, and then that way when I put this back in, I know it's aligned. I'm also going to be very careful when I pull this out not to rotate it at all because the collar has a keyway on it that can be flipped. So I'm going to make sure to keep that aligned with how I pulled it out. That way when I put it back in, I don't have to worry about timing being off. Alright, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, so get into it here. You can see all the caked up grease I've got up in there. I'm going to go ahead and clean all that, and then the distributor is right there. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this bottom bolt here with a punch after I clean this, maybe even a little paint pen. I'm not sure if you can see that. Okay, so I went ahead and I put two marks on there, one on each side of the lug where that little point comes off the block on the engine side. Also smeared some paint pen in there. Should give me plenty of alignment features when I go to put it back in. So I'm going to go ahead and go up top, pull all the electrical plugs and all that off, and then come back down here and start loosening these bolts up. Okay, so something important to note, as your spark plug wire come into, you see this, the three bungs there, and then the one directly above. So the one that's above goes to the main coil, which is back in here to the left. There's a plug, and I'll show you from the underside. So it's actually labeled on here: cylinder 3, cylinder 2, cylinder 1. And then this is your coil hookup. This is for a vacuum line, which I've already disconnected as well. So cylinder 3, cylinder 2, cylinder 1, just so you know when you're putting this all back together. Your plug wires are also labeled, if you can read them. So behind that metal line right there, that gray connector is one port. The coil goes on that black bung to the right of it. With the flashlight. So you can see that gray wire there. So I pulled that off and then I plugged it back in. But the coil connects to the right of it, and then your main plug for the distributor connects to the one above that. And then there's a single little pin similar to this one here, this little brown one, that also has to be disconnected. And then you just kind of play like a maneuvering game to get it around this exhaust shield. Kind of rotate it, pivot it as you can, get some wiggle room. Just keep an eye on any of your connectors and stuff in here that's old brittle plastic that can break. But you can kind of see, looking up from this side, there's your coil connector is right there. That's like the plug that stays on, but it's easier to take it off first to get to the one that's above it for the distributor. If you have a leak, it's going to be dripping off of this corner here. I already wiped some off, but I'm going to do more while I'm in here. It's all clean. Something to note for access, I pulled this connector off, which is to your exhaust. So I pulled that off to give me more clearance. I disconnected this little guy right here. Just a cable tie that presses into that hole. Have some cardboard down because that will drip when you pull a distributor. I did pull this hose clamp back, but I didn't end up doing anything with that. Okay, now I'm here in the shed. So this guy here is your culprit for oil leaks. There's 2 O-rings on there, and then it's an aluminum collar. It presses into this here. This is your keyed shaft that goes on the engine. So you want to make sure not to turn this when you're messing with it. So what I actually did was I marked where those lines are, so that if I do accidentally turn it, I know how to position it. And I'm going to take some pictures because my line is on the right hand side here. There's a marking on there. So I know that if I do rotate it, I have to get it back to this orientation because it'll be 180 out if not. See my markings there on that ear. And so this is the vacuum line that I said was hard to get to, so I left it on, took this end off. This is the other smaller vacuum line. And last but not least, this one here. And then this is your connector. So you can see there's a pin that you have to depress. And then there's a small plug, which is going to be fun to get back in. So I've got the O-rings for this guy. I'm going to replace those. And I'm going to pull off these 3 bolts here. 1, 2, and 3. We'll replace the cap and the seal and the rotor inside. Clean it up as we go and get back in there. Okay, so first of all is this collar, which goes over this guy here, like that. There's 2 O-rings on, which I've already pulled off. They're pretty. Also forgot to mention, I got a new ignition control module. I ordered off of the Facebook group. Came with 2 little screws because those often strip out the ICM itself and the little gasket piece, and thermal paste for the backside. I also pre-ordered ahead of time some JIS screwdriver bit tips, and just for reference, you buy your own thermal paste. You can get these guys local, both the same. 35608 Felpro. I believe you can get them at standard auto parts store. I ordered mine on Amazon, they're like $1 a piece. So when I pulled mine out, the O-rings were pretty much flat, so these are going to be a nice seal now. So I noticed that the screws on here were actually loose, so I don't even have to play with them. They were finger tight, so I'm going to go ahead and pull these off the rest of the way. So something to note, the little wire has a clamp that goes over the top of your bracket here. I had no issues with mine, but I'm gonna go ahead and swap it out anyway, just because I'm not sure if it's original or aftermarket. Being that the screws were very loose and this does not look OEM, I'm thinking this was aftermarket. My previous owner did tell me he had fuel issues and it messed with the carburetor, so wouldn't surprise me if he had touched this at one point or another. So go ahead and get this cleaned up. I'll save this one in case I ever have issues. I'm going to clean this little cover bracket as well. But I've got my brand new one with the new seal. So once I get this all cleaned up, I'll pop it in there and put some thermal paste on it. It's good to go. Another thing I noticed is the faceplate here does not want to align perfectly, so I'm actually going to throw silver on the drill press, I think, just ream out those holes a little bit. The part number. That's the part number there. You do need two of them. Only comes. And then I'm putting this back on with the bigger lip facing down. Don't forget to reattach the small ground wire and the bracket that holds the wire in place on the bottom or the side screw there. If you're using the JIS head, it's a number 2. Just double check you get good squeeze out your thermal paste all the way around. Just an FYI, it's a number 7, or you can use a Phillips head. And they are retained to the cap, so your new cap will have them. So it looks like it just has circular opening and a metal tab that kind of depresses. So, alright, so I ended up working with some needle nose pliers underneath it like that. Kind of use it to leverage it. You can see that's what the shaft looks like. Pretty clean compared to some of the pictures I've seen. It seems like it spins good, so I'm not going to touch anything in here. Looks pretty good. Put this back together. Wow, that pressed on a lot easier than I thought. Alright. We're going to go ahead and pull this gasket out of here. Here's your replacement for it. Anywhere I have O-rings, I'm just going to put a little bit of this squeeze tube lubricant, basically petroleum jelly. put the same lubricant on these guys just to help them press into the housing. Which my I'm going to go ahead and check the footage one more time, make sure I have that rotor aligned to how I had the pictures, and switch back out to the van for the final install. Alrighty, so I've got the distributor back in there. I just threw the new plug wires in since I had to reconnect the boots on the distributor side anyway. I have not done the spark plugs yet. I just want to turn it over and make sure I'm all good. And then not changing as many factors at one time. So, gonna go ahead and start it up and see what it does. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the new spark plugs in. Gap on the spark plugs is 1 to 1.1 millimeters. Torque is 1.5 kilogram meters.